Hey, man.
Yo, Eric, great party last night, right?
Yeah, definitely. That was a party semester. I'll most definitely be out for the next one you throw.
Did you get lucky last night?
Could have, but I had a lot of work to do today, so I called it quits early. Yeah. How about you?
Bro, the party wasn't the only great thing about last night. Basically, here comes an awesome story. A story that can add to my college party experience. All right, at first, at the beginning of the night, I had 2 chicks in my room, all right? And
I'm disgusted. I live on this campus.
what's more important than my story right now? What?
I just got an email alert from University Police that a female was sexually assaulted last night.
Oh.
Did that happen at your party?
Not at my party.
It's a real shame when something like that happens.
And I'm right behind you on that one. Because I'm the type of person that would just want to throw a party. Just so people can come and relieve some stress. Everybody just wants to have fun. But there's always someone that takes it too far. Things get out of control. And now some girl might end up being raped.
Well, to clarify, it said sexually assaulted. It didn't mention rape, and most sexual assaults don't happen at a party.
One second. Hello? Yeah. I'm in class right now. I can't talk. All right. I'll call you when I get out, okay? It'll be a few minutes. My friend just got raped. Sorry. How is the act of sexual harassment different, and when does that happen?
Well, a good example would be this girl in my major. She's a junior now. We started taking a lot of the same classes together. We had a group project that we were working on. You know, she's a great girl, and right now I think she's a cashier at the market nearby.
Well, she sounds like a nice person.
Yeah, she generally is.
And I'm a great friend, too. Anyway, I work at the market. It's right near campus, so I usually walk.
Okay, that's only like 15 minutes away, right?
Right, and 2 blocks before you get there, there's a corner store.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, and at first I had no problem walking there and back, but after a while, the guys that were loitering outside and sitting in their cars started catcalling me.
Oh, okay.
And at first I didn't mind because the catcalling was pretty light, and honestly, I kind of liked the attention. On my way home from work one day, I wasn't even 20 feet to the store yet, and they started saying the most crudest remarks, mostly about what parts of my body that they liked.
Whoa, so I assume you started taking the other side of the street, or just found a whole new route in general?
Yeah, I did at first, but if I left too late, I would have to walk that way, and I had to stop doing it altogether one day.
What happened?
Well, there was construction on the sidewalk, so I had no choice but to walk right in front of them. And one day, the most terrible thing happened. It was dead silent.
So nobody said a word?
It was definitely the most awkward I've ever felt walking by that spot. They stared so hard. I know that they continued to look at my backside as I passed by.
You must have felt so self-conscious.
I did. The silence was the most terrifying because I felt like an object. I felt like a piece of meat. And their stares, it made me shrink inside. Since then, I've made sure to leave early. I spoke to my boss and got my shift moved to start half an hour later.
Wow, you really made some readjustments in your life just to avoid those guys.
It was hard. I have this friend that I've known since middle school, and he's been on the swim team in college, and I remember in high school he was having some issues about the locker room.
What happened? Was the captain abusing his leadership?
Yeah,
Yes, it was our leadership, but it was our coach who was abusing her power.
The female coach was harassing your male students?
I wasn't exactly sure when it started, but there wasn't anything blatant or as noticeable from the start. At the beginning of the season. It was towards the middle of the season where we started to notice a few things, but she was subtle at first.
What exactly did she do?
There were a few times, like more than twice, and on a few days where we had meets, she would just come rushing into the men's locker room.
So she just came in while you guys were changing, just unannounced?
Each time it happened, we could hear her shouting and it just come out, but we never actually thought she'd come in.
Was anyone naked?
No. Barely anyone was fully clothed. And she would just stand there in the doorway saying, "Come on, hurry up, we're running late, we need to get on the bus ASAP. Why are you guys taking so long?" And then she'd say something along the lines of, "You guys need to stop screwing around, you're wasting time."
Well, did she even give you guys like a chance, a legit chance to get in there, change, and get out in a reasonable time?
No one ever saw the reason we needed to get dressed so quickly. It was real bull.
I know, but I mean, that's a violation of your privacy, and she wasn't discreet about it at all. And you really need to say something about how she's abusing her power to harass your team members.
Like I said, that was at first. There were times where she'd touch us. She'd been the coach there for a long time, so she knew who had chronic muscle aches and where the typical sore spots were. It was just a few guys, but one of them was me. She just came up all nonchalant about it and would start massaging like our shoulders, our backs, our elbows, and whether we wanted it or not, and regardless if the spot was hurting at the time.
It wasn't only bad for you, but it was bad for your teammates and your school. And the thing about it is that those seniors in an organization like that, they use their power to harass others and to take advantage of them, you know?
Yeah, good point. People use their seniority or power quite a lot to sexually harass others in a work environment. My cousin, she just started college this year, and she's pretty outgoing and likes to try new things. I heard from my mom that she set out to join a sorority, but it didn't turn out quite like she'd hoped.
Well, I don't want to make this assumption, but she was probably hazed.
That's true. I was really surprised, despite all the stuff that I've heard about the culture, that this could have happened. I previewed most sororities, and this seemed pretty outstanding and reputable. That image is faded from my memory.
Did this happen during your initiation?
Yes. Me and the other pledges were invited over for a meeting over social etiquette. Unfortunately, that meeting was just for their enjoyment. Those girls expected me to just stay there and take their advances so they could be aroused?
It's good that you realized what was going on, and you didn't subject yourself to that.
There's a lot of people who have been subject to sexual harassment in many different environments and have experienced it in many multiple ways.
When it happens, it changes you.
Sounds like you really understand.
You'd understand just as well if you were a victim before coming to college. It's an especially hard experience for minors because they have to grow up with that. Remember how I like to sing sometimes?
Yeah, you're pretty decent.
Thanks. I used to be a part of this junior church choir when I was younger. When I was in it, it was either me, my friend Laura, or my friend Renee who would do all the solo work. We were really good and always got singled out, but it's mostly the priest who gave us all the attention.
Don't tell me you went after one of the choir members.
The girls always used to tell me that the priest would act strangely to them when in private.
Well, did one of you guys say anything?
They didn't say anything, and I didn't feel like there was anything I had to say. But he just treated me really, really well. Nothing seemed strange at the time, but I did used to ask him about it from time to time.
What did they tell you? And why didn't they say anything to anyone else?
After a while, even they didn't have anything strange to report, so I just left that alone. I treated him normally, and after a while, he just naturally grew closer. He was like a father figure to me. And one summer, we went out for our annual retreat. At this point, my guard is down. While I'm in the locker room changing to go to the pool, he comes out of the shower. We're talking for a little, and then I don't know how, but I'm being touched in some ways and places that I shouldn't be touched in. The confusion just kept me glued. It's like I wanted to move, but I couldn't. I guess he thought that was okay in his eyes, because he started at my bathing suit. He raped me.